a message by our dear friend Pluto Jim, and it talked about how you're so interesting, you're so mysterious. I have so many questions for one who is so mysterious. So many questions arise, and you're pretty much a mystery. And I'm thinking to myself, what's mysterious? You heard it? What is mysterious about me? Like, mystery, what? What is mysterious? Tell me, what is mysterious? I'm the one that's asking all the questions. I'm the one, I feel like I'm curious about everyone else who's mysterious, right? You know what a mystery to me is? The times in my life where I've met so many folks on the street, they've given me a message and they've vanished. Completely disappeared from my life, never to be seen again. That's a mystery to me. Have you ever gone up to somebody, and it's happened so many times, more than I can count on one hand, where I will have just a conversation with somebody. They will tell me something, or give me a kind word, or give me a message, or I will give them something, and then I turn around, they're gone. Gone. I remember that I was at a Thai food place. And this was back when I was really having issues with food. And mind you, I never really had the biggest issues with food until I let food go. And then I came back into food. So when I was eating everything, having high levels of consumption, 3 meals a day plus snacks, constipation was normal, indigestion was normal. All that stuff was normal to me. So I didn't feel like that was abnormal. It's only when I started fasting, when I started juicing, when I started letting things go, and my body started detoxing, that I felt that I had poisoned my body for years. And then when I started binging and purging and doing odd things that I had never done before in my life, I went to this Thai food place and I just ate all of this food. It was pad Thai. I had all of this stuff. And then I went to the bathroom and I threw all of it up. And then I went outside and this guy was asking, hey, you got any change? You got anything on you? And I think just by reflex, I was like, no, I don't have anything. And then as soon as I went to the car, I was like, oh, I do have some change. And I grabbed some and I went back out and I gave it to him and he looked at me. He gave me like a startled look because when I said I didn't have anything, he kind of looked at me as if like, man, come on, man. I know you got something. But then when I gave him what I had, he looked at me startled, like he could not believe I actually came back to give him something. He was like, thank you. And I said, no problem, you got it. And I turned around, and before I got to my car, I turned back around, the guy was gone. It gives me chills, like just talking about this. He was gone. There was no way that he could have gotten up from where he was on the ground and gone around the corner. He vanished. I remember meeting Mr. Yang, a gentleman who told me, Mr. Yang, that's all I know him by today. I never saw him again. He said, many small thing equals big thing. Many small thing equals big thing. Mr. Yang. I never forgot what he said to me. And I never saw him again. And I saw him at the Pasadena Library, the Central Library in Pasadena, and now it's closed down. I can't go back there. I remember meeting a gentleman on the street, and I didn't have anything in my pockets at the time, but I just, I gave him a kind word, and he was thankful for conversation. And he said, man, I thank you just for stopping by. People usually disregard me. They don't pay me any mind. People usually just walk by me like I'm nobody. So just thank you for even being willing to listen. And he told me something. I never forgot what he told me. He said, if you're not grateful for what you have, why is God going to give you more to be ungrateful for? I said, So what if all you had tomorrow was everything you were grateful for today? I said, somebody tell you something and you just be like, You know, like, I never thought about that, right? Huh. Said, if you're not grateful for what you have, why is God going to give you more to be ungrateful for? So when you proclaim I am grateful, it's like, you remember if you ever had parents or if you ever have folks who say, hey, if you keep on crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. You better stop that crying. I'm going to give you something to cry about. When you keep being grateful, the universe is like, hey, you better stop being grateful. You keep being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. All right? You keep being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. You better stop that. Hey, knock it off. Right? So this is what he told me, right? And it's just like Deepinder was saying, angels, guides, messengers. I truly believe that these were like modern day angels. There's a Bible verse. I should have pulled up the Bible verse here. But it says, you know, be careful how you treat strangers, how you entertain strangers, for you may have entertained angels unawares. There's a Bible verse. I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. And it's one of my favorites. It's like, always treat strangers with kindness. Always be good to strangers, because you may have entertained angels unaware. Right? You may not have even known. It may not have even shown, but you have actually entertained angels. I remember when I was in downtown Los Angeles, and you talking about mysterious, right? So there was a guy who was asking me for, you know, some spare change, and I actually had some spare change, but it was only a penny. I only had 1 penny. I don't know, maybe I had reached down and picked up a lucky penny off the street, but I had a penny in my pocket, and that was it. And I gave it to this gentleman, and when I gave it to him, he was like, what the heck? Like, he started cussing me out on the street. In front of all the luxury hotels and the restaurants and, you know, the KFCs and all the people passing by and all this stuff. This guy was cussing me out like, how dare you? How dare you give me this? What am I going to do with this? How dare you? Right? And I was like, hey, my bad. You know, I'll take it back. He gave it to me. He said, get out of here. He said, get out of my face, right? Later on, I was in Chinatown, and I seen somebody on the bench, this jovial character, this guy. He just looked like all of life's joy was contained in one man. And he was sat down there on the bench, and I was passing him by, and he asked me, hey, do you have any spare change? Anything you can offer. And lo and behold, the same penny that the other guy rejected, I still had in my pocket. So I pulled out that same penny. I gave it to this man. He looked at me. His eyes looked at me. And it was like he almost started shedding tears. He started proclaiming affirmations over my life. Proclamation over my life. He started saying things like, I hope you are a millionaire. I hope I hope wealth and abundance and prosperity follows you wherever you go. I hope that you are blessed for the rest of your life. I hope your family is blessed. Generations and generations are blessed. Thank you so much, young man. And I mean, I was touched. My heart, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I wish I had more, you know? He was like, thank you so much. He said that for a penny. Guess what? I'm sure you can imagine. Uh-oh. All right, good. So as soon as I left, I turned around the corner, came back. I'm sure you can imagine he was gone. He was gone, never to be seen again. So these are the mysteries that I have encountered in life. You know, some of the things that have happened to me. I remember one more story I'm going to tell you. And this was spooky. This was spooky now. I remember that I was coming from one of my jobs, and this was at a time where I was a telemarketer for a real estate brokerage. But lo and behold, because I could not manage my finances well, and there was no maintenance of my bank account, I had like zero in my bank account. I might have been even in the negative. But I was putting up a front, putting up a show. I had, the suit, and I had the bow tie, and I had everything looking like I had made it, looking like I was doing it big, right? Looking like I was in real estate, whatever. I was driving down the street and I pulled up to this light, and somebody asked to like wipe my windows, and I was like, no, it's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's okay. You don't have to. And they were like, oh, what are we going to do now? And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, now that we've lost all our money. I said, what? It was almost like the world slowed down. And I said, what? And the light changed. In the middle of my confusion, the light changed and it went green, and the car behind me started honking before I could even process. I feel like, to this day, I feel like that was an angel. There's no way that they could have known I had nothing in my bank account. But it was almost like God was playing a trick on me. Like God was speaking through the mouth of another person. It was like, what are we going to do now? Now that we've lost all our money. And I wish you could have seen the goosebumps, the chills that came up on my body. I was like, what? These things happened to me, and they showed me that there is more to life than meets the eye. Just like that bird. You hear that bird? I feel like there's more mystery in that bird than someone could ever find within me. There's more mystery, One of my friends pointed at a pigeon and he said, Jerome, you know what that is? I said, yeah. I said, what is that? I said, it's a pigeon. He said, no. That's what we call it. But what is that really? What is that? I said, that's a bird. He said, no. You think that's a bird just because we call it a bird? Right? You think that's a pigeon just because we call it a pigeon? You don't know what that is. He said, that could be anything. That could be anyone. That could be your great-grandfather. That could be anybody, right? That could be anything. And it made me pause. I was like, what? Life is mysterious, We never truly know what things are, what things could be. But I just wanted to talk to you about that because somebody was attributing mystery to me when I feel like nature itself, life itself, angels, messengers, guides, all these things are so mysterious. But don't let the mystery get you delirious. Continue to always and forever be curious. So thank you, my friend, and much love. Thank you for listening.